So hello and welcome to another video. Today we're in the Delta Wing Simulations F-16C interceptor, which is kind of working on Apple Silicon, but not entirely. This flight is just going to be to have some fun. We are in Grand Canyon West, and I plan to do some wall hugging down in the canyon over to the left. Perhaps fly over to Las Vegas later. But to begin with, let's just start setting up. So we can get rid of the ladder. Let's close the canopy. Okay. Oh, so much more quiet. Let's get things started. So first up, some power. Okay, battery, and yep, that's good. Next up, some lights. Oh, first let's turn on the avionics. Not everything is modeled, so I'm doing this by heart rather than by checklist and the proper order. Although they do provide with a checklist that you could use. And apparently things will be modeled in the future. At the moment I would be happy if their systems would work. Because for example I can't get rid of the CFTs and I can't add the wingtip smokers. Yeah, some of the features don't entirely work. We've got some lights up, and we've got the MFDs up, and the eyebrow warning windows and notification areas. Just for fun, we can do the test. You can see they still haven't fixed the
altitude
illumination problem.
Jammer, counter, chat, flare, low.
Which I suppose is okay. And let's get some exterior lights as well. Okay, you can hardly see it, but there's a red light and a green light to the other side. And I think we're almost ready for engine start, which is half modeled. So we don't need an air start unit apparently, and we don't need to first start the APU. So let's just go for it. Fuel system. Fuel is on, guarded. And we can let the engine spool up. There's also something weird going on here. You heard the change in sound, and I don't see the green light, and well, the ECS light is off, so I'll just insert the fuel. Engine is spooling up. Let's turn on the HUD. Radar and the oxygen, the link and everything else here. They're not really modeled, so it doesn't really matter if I add them or not. This should be here. Good. I don't want altitude warnings because I'm going to do some crazy stuff. And master caution wasn't on, but it's clear. I think we can taxi out. This is another problem I'm having. It taxis out like a rocket, possibly because I'm currently kind of empty. Don't even have much fuel when I think about it. Let's add some fuel. I might have to cut this video short, sorry. Anyways, I'll set things up again and meet you back at this point after I've done a reset of the sim. So welcome back. I've restarted the engine and I'm more or less where we left off previously. And I'm ready to taxi. So let's turn on the taxi lights. Clear on the right, clear on the left. Let's imagine we're not going to flip over any planes while doing this. Let's go. So yeah, you'll notice the airplane really flies and I have to be on the brakes constantly or else I lose control here. Up, and this is, oh no. I don't know what this is. This is, oh man, come on. Okay, so we're back and this time we're in the F-14. Everything is off at the moment, as you can see. It's a windy day, some sort of cloud over the airfield. Let's see, well, maybe in this direction. It doesn't seem to be affecting frame rate too much, getting about 20. Let's make sure the data ref tool is off. Everything that can be turned off will be off. Head tracking is in use. Oh, I hear rain. Okay. AV tab we might need. Simlink we're always on. Yeah, seems like the main things affecting performance are the settings. So these are my settings. Let's turn off the ambient occlusion and let's leave everything else where it is. There's not much scenery here anyway, so this shouldn't be affecting too much. You can see that I have a 75-degree FOV. I used to have it higher, but I don't like the way it distorts things on the edges, so this is better. And we're off. So, first thing we would need to do to start the F-14 is connect external power, which I just have. And yeah, let's turn on the battery, which doesn't really exist here, the master switch. And let's get some lighting going. Weird sound effect, right? Okay, MFD's coming on. HUD. They always like putting it, is it down or up? Down. This is better. Going to reset my view again. And O-bugs. Oxygen. And let's connect the air start unit. Air start is connected. In case you missed it, it's because I did it with a keyboard shortcut that I assigned. Starting left engine. Oops, starting right then. Fine. I switched it to the wrong position. Okay, we can hear the turbine turning. And we can introduce fuel. Seems to be spooling up. Starter cutouts. Generator is on. And front right engine. We still have the air start unit, so we can just use that to start. Starting left. You can hear the turbine. And let's add fuel. Cutout, generator coming on, and for the purposes of this video I think we're configured good enough. Flap coming out, release parking brake, and you can see it also moves forward when in idle, but it's not flying off like the F-16 did. Even though I am flying quite empty. Just added some external fuel tanks, so we'll have more airborne time. I wonder if I'll be able to fly inside the canyon or if visibility will not permit. Frame rate is around 18 frames per second, 18 to 20, which is low, but you can see it is flyable. It's not something that it's not as smooth as 30 or 50 or 60 FPS, but it's not terrible. Master caution is off. Crosswind is still up. I'm using real world weather, so maybe that's not going to change. It's weird how whenever you press the brakes, it always uses the parking brake, so it's kind of like pulling that. I wonder if Austin and Laminar are planning on fixing that or giving us some sort of separate control of the brakes, because it is kind of annoying. And I mean, this is X-Plane 12. It should be something that is fixed from X-Plane 11 and 10. A long history of X-Planes that has been doing this. I think I've been using X-Plane since X-Plane 10. I've always been a flight sim, Microsoft Flight Simulator flyer. Ever since I was a kid, I started with version 1 or 2, and then 4 and 95 and FSX and the further iterations of FSX. By the way, the mirrors don't work. You can't see anything in the mirrors. And I think we are ready for takeoff. Are you ready for takeoff? One of the most beautiful things here is the afterburner. Comes through the whole system.
Caution, on taxiway, on taxiway.
so far visibility is permitting this. There does seem to be some moisture up ahead. I wonder if flying this in VR would feel different, because I do get a sense of depth here, but I don't really get the sense of height. And the trees seem very far. I wonder if using stereoscopic visualization would change this. But I can't afford a VR set at the moment, so it's not going to be something I'm going to be answering anytime soon. Going ballistic, man. Or goose. Did you see the movie? Did you like it? Some scenes are kind of idiotic, but you don't go to watch Top Gun for the realism. And it was a nice movie in the end. A nice action-packed movie. I would have liked it more if we used F-16s instead of Hornets. It's a much nicer aircraft. I realized they don't have the Rio and the pilot-Rio relationship to build on for the script with an F-16 unless they use F-16Bs. So yeah, why not? And also, is it me, or was the mission crafted exactly like the attack on the Iraqi nuclear plant by Israel in '86? And they flew a very long distance without any radio contact, very low, close to the ground, then pulled up, did a dive, a bomb dive, and then retreated back. It's not so stable. Which is kind of what the mission parameters were there. The whole Star Wars aspect of having to slip in 2 bombs into a narrow opening wasn't there, but it's kind of precision bombing that was expected. Right now I don't have a sensation of how high I am above the ground. I'm very close to the mountain and I'm trying to stay as close as I can, but I can't really gauge the altitude over the river because I don't really get a sense of how wide the river is. Clouds do look good even at low settings, but they need to be tweaked because they eat up performance like a very hungry creature. And I finally understand why they say it's terrible visibility from the F-14 cockpit. It's very hard to see anything with the glare from the sun. Even without it, you get a very small fragment of what's ahead of you. Let's go up. data labels because I find it kind of hinders immersion. I have no idea where I am now. Absolutely none. This is very unprofessional flying what I'm doing at the moment because I really don't know where I am or where I'm going. Thankfully, there's an app for that. We're headed straight for Vegas. Burners on. Mach 1.9. Mach 1. Jumps you've seen just now have to do with some sort of network problem in my end. Let's get down again. I see a hole we can punch through. Something weird going on with the clouds again. I do feel like there should be some sort of shadow here. Let's see if ambient occlusion actually hinders frame rate as much as I thought it would. So we're seeing 18 frames per second. Let's see what happens if we turn it back on. SSAO, and let's put some FSR super sampling performance. Let's see what happens. That was quick. We're getting more frames per second than before. Is there a shadow there? No, it passed it already. Oh, it does look a bit better. Flying in the rain. Seconds. I should be leaving the FSR on for the duration of my usage here of this thing, apparently. They did improve the clouds much compared to beta 8. This is beta 9 by the way. And I think we're actually getting some rain effects on the canopy. Kind of weird because it's not consistent. And just step back. We are out of burner but still doing Mach 1. This is what they call super cruise. Oh, we managed to clear that mountain. This would have been very awkward. What is that? Is that a city underwater? Was there a flood and no one told me? Apparently there was a flooding in Las Vegas. Where are we? We're still approaching. Let's go. Show me the way to the strip. Excuse me, where is Las Vegas? Burner is off. Engines are off. We're going to slow down so we don't break all the windows in Vegas. Nice reflection to the right. Putting some engines back in. I think McLaren is to the left a bit. Yeah, there it is. Is it? Mach 0.7. Thought I saw a plane there. Shouldn't be any other traffic actually. What is going on with the textures? I wish there was a way to transfer data from MSFS to X-Plane and have the scenery they have over here in X-Plane. The main reason I'm using X-Plane is because this is the only flight sim that runs natively on Macintosh. Don't need to emulate anything. Although at the moment we have to run Rosetta, we have to run the sim through Rosetta, which is annoying. When you run the sim without Rosetta, it does give you a few extra FPS, but yeah, you can't get SASL to work, so most of my add-ons and plugins don't work properly without Rosetta. Let's see if changing the rendering distance improves anything here. So I'll see you after the rendering distance has been implemented. You should also bear in mind that I'm running this and using OBS on the same Mac, so this also eats up some precious FPS. Without OBS, I would probably get about 4 to 5 FPS extra, even with the higher rendering settings. And do take into account that the more you have going on in terms of weather and clouds, it does impact performance. So yeah, well, we're back. It did not seem to do much in ways of improving the frame rate. But let's see what happens. Let's go flying through the strip. They fixed the funky thing going on with the Eiffel Tower, I don't know, I haven't seen it. Let's not crash into any buildings. And up to the Space Needle, which is kind of nice the way they modeled the attraction theme, the attraction park, the rides over there. Is less buggy than the previous one. The F-14 is also hard to control, so maybe this will be better. You can see that there is turbulence. You can see that this jet is much slower than the other one. Much less AOA capabilities. Well, it's a jet and it's cool and it's nice. Back to the strip. Something is up with the sounds. For some reason, when looking to the left I hear more engine, and when looking to the right I hear none. Acceleration is much more limited in this plane. Eiffel Tower looks fixed. Yes. It's not showing whatever is behind it like it did before. Not crashing into any buildings this time. And we're gonna hang a right and land at McLaren Airfield. Shortly, so let's cut power. And I think I see the runway. Gear coming down, airspeed, air spoilers, flaps, everything is out to slow us down. And let's just park it here. As you can see, I'm not really flying any patterns, not really talking to any ATC, just enjoying flying. And the fact that they have very long runways in McLaren. I wouldn't be doing this landing in real life, I wouldn't. Come on. And applying brakes. Full brakes. Hopefully we won't have a runway runoff. Which we did not, thankfully. We're back in McLaren Airfield. It's the Air Maki M345 or 365. It's a very nice jet, very fun to fly. And rather modeled comparatively. So I think I'll end the flight here, and I'll be debating with myself if I want to post this video or not, because this has been a long time coming and I do want to post something. So if you have any questions and you're seeing this, please post them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions to improve frame rate, please let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.